and today we're opening a booster box for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is Champions, the base set for the game, and let's see what we get in here. Just opening up the box, and in the box we have the standard 24 booster packs. Let's get them out. Let's drop on everything out. Let's get rid of the box. Okay, so let's start with the first pack. These are nice and easy to open. That's good. In every booster pack there are 13 cards. We start with 6 commons at the start. Then we have 3 uncommon. Then we have 1 rare. Then we have 2 either blessing cards or heroes, or champions, of course. And then there's always 1 foil at the back. Very nice. This is a uncommon foil. Sneaky Grot Shaman. Okay, let's put that there. So this game was released by PlayFusion in 2018. This is the second game they released. The first one was Lightseekers. I'm going to go a bit slower this time around. Okay, first again the 6 commons. Very nice. Really love the art of this guy here. Looks really menacing. A Alpha Griff Charger. Okay. And you can see what the rarity is by this little pip here down here. So just this bronze one, that means they're common. And then the uncommons, they have a silver little pip here. So this is again the 3 uncommons. And then we have the rare, as you can see here, with this little fancy gold pip. Maybe bring this up a bit closer. Okay. Then we have another hero, Massive Joppa War Boss. Very cool, always love the orcs. And the Bone Splatter Shaman. Also looks like an orc. Very cool, love the art on this one. And then at the end we have our common foil, Blood Raver Chieftain. Okay, let's get this out of the way. So in the first set that was released by PlayFusion, there was a total of 278 cards released. Blood Hunt, Wagon Fusion, Jaws of Death, Achillean Barriguard, Skeleton Warriors, cool, Charging Black Knight, Big Stabber Crew. Ooh. Cowardly Grots. They don't look very cowardly to me. And then again we have the 2 heroes or blessings in here. Again a blessing and a hero. The champion, of course. I'll get this right eventually. And then this very cool looking Chaos Rune Blade. The foiling looks really nice so far. So the game is unique in the sense that it also has a digital client, and when you buy these physical cards you were able to scan the cards to get them into your physical client as well. I say was because, well, if you're watching this channel you probably know this game was discontinued. There were 3 sets released aside from this base set. There was also Onslaught and Savagery. The first, I think, Onslaught was released in November of the same year. And then I believe there was a 4th set, but that never made it to physical. It also only made it to the digital client. Marakar Blood Sky. Knight Azarius. Reaping Cairnweth. So this time we have 2 champions in the box, or in the pack. And then we have this very nice Spirit Torment. But again, so far we've only gotten one uncommon and 3 commons. So I'm hoping for a rare foiled. It's actually pretty nice. These packs are pretty easy to open. What I really like a lot about this game is the back here is structured. There's a bit of feel to it, and it feels really nice. So I really love this about this game. On the front, the card, I feel like the border is taking up a lot of space. So the art that they, and them being PlayFusion, got from Games Workshop for the game, it doesn't get as much space on the cards that I've loved. I mean, look at this awesome war boar, but there's so much going on around it that it's really small on the card. Look at all the space down here with all this white, and while that certainly makes it easier to read, I feel like it would have been a lot nicer if they would have given the art more space here. So here we have our 3 uncommons. And then the rare Skull Reaper Icon Bearer. Very nice. The one thing that you will notice is that these symbols down here, these are relevant because the game is divided and played on a play area that is divided into 4 lanes. And it's very relevant what this down here shows, because it impacts what the card does into which lanes, and that then has a significant impact on the game itself. I really like that. It really adds a great strategic viewpoint to the game. And this time around we have 2 champions again, Morton and Vampire. You can see different types here. So one thing about this game is, again, the foiled is a simple common. So another thing about this game is that it's divided into 4 factions, and the factions are Order, Death, Chaos, and Destruction. And within those factions, you still have different armies, and this is what this here shows, so Mortons and Vampires. And within these factions, if you're building a deck with those armies, then you can potentially generate a synergy, kind of cards that play off each other that give you a really cool deck. So what you do at the start of the game, or when you build your deck, you choose blessings and you choose heroes, and you kind of build your deck around that. You have spells, abilities, like this one here is an ability, and it says wizard. So the champions, they can either be wizard, warrior, or wizard warrior. So you see this is a warrior card here, and wizards will only be able to play wizard cards, warriors can only play warrior cards, and wizard warriors can play anything. So we have unit here, another unit, and we have a rare mosh pit. Wouldn't want to get into a mosh pit with them. I think that would probably hurt quite a lot, but again, the art is really nice. It's really in tune with Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, and of course, because they got the art from Games Workshop, Crypt Infernal Courtier and Hungering Vampire Lord, and then another common foil. So aside from the lanes, the champions also added another significant aspect to the game, because when you put together the deck, you could only put together a deck that accumulates in 20 points. So every champion that you choose costs a certain amount of points, and we can see this here. So this champion costs 6. So you can imagine you pick 4, and you can pretty easily get over the value. So you need to make sure that you pick the heroes that work well together. And then you have the blessings. The blessings come into game shuffled up under the heroes. And the heroes, they have... Keep saying heroes, of course they're champions. Apologies to anyone watching this video and thinking, what the hell is he talking about? So we have the uncommons, Corns Chosen, Search of Justice, Walk Ceremony. Really want to play a orc deck. And then we have the rare here. So there's usually a text here, and some of the champions, not this one, they have quests they need to fulfill. And when they've done that, then the blessing, which is under the hero, can be turned face up and is activated. So it's like a very strong ability, and that's really something that you want to do. Oh, nice. Uncommon foil. So that's really what you're trying to do. Aside from hitting your opponent, you want to try to get your heroes to fulfill these quests, to unlock these abilities, and that will of course help you a lot in trying to win the game. So moving through the comments quite fast. Gorge up a Brute, Volcoric Acolyte. The rare is Fearless Korgorath. Nice. And usually these blessings, they can have an active or a passive, and they are very strong. And you really want to try and get them out during your game. Isharn, Soul's Career, a uncommon hero. And then we have another uncommon foil. So you have, aside from blessings and champions, the cards are divided into spells, units, and I think there's a third one. Let's see if we can get it here. Abilities. Yes, and you want to think about what the ratios are when you put them into your deck. Because of course, depending what champions you play, what your strategy is, you want a different mix in there. And you can actually see pretty easily what the cards are. So you can see red for unit, blue for a spell. The color coding is quite nice, but again, I do think there's too much going on, and the art, you know, isn't giving the justice. It isn't given the prominence that it should. Not a common foil. There are 4 starter packs exclusive, starter box exclusives in here, which I think are the chase cards that we're really looking for. There's a good chance that we might find it, but let's see. We're about halfway through, so let's see if we find it. War Chant, Charging Black Knight, Namiriti Soul Feeder. Very nice. Banner Carrier, a rare. Knight Heralder, Royal Unit. Oh, very nice. A rare foil. That's actually the first one we've opened up so far. And you can see this one as well. This is a champion, and it has a U here. So that means that it's unique, and you can only have one of them in your deck. You can also see there's a red pip here, and this means that this gives you 2 additional life. So every player starts with 30 life, and then depending on the champions that they have, they modify that life up or down to what I believe to a maximum of 35. Not 100% sure on that, but you can, some of these champions actually lower it, and some put it further up. Very nice. I think that's probably the nicest card we've got so far. Let's move on to the next pack. Okay, so we have the commons, the uncommons, the rare. We already had that just a few packs back. Then we have our champion, and as you can see what I talked about, this one adds 1 life, another blessing, and another common foil. Now the interesting aspect about this game is that the cards to play, they don't actually cost any resources. There's no mana, there's no mana curve, nothing like that. You can take 2 actions during the action phase, and for any action that you don't take, you can then draw a card. So it's really a trade-off. Do you want to play a lot of cards, do you want to take a lot of actions, or are you focusing on drawing up and preparing for next turn? Neferata, Mortok of Blood, a unique champion and rare as well. This is a very cool card. Really like that. Again, I love the art, and I wish it was bigger. Blood Throne of Corn. Blood for the Blood God. And a uncommon foil. So you're guaranteed a foil in every pack. You can't get more, that's it. But, you know, depending on the champions or blessings you open, you could have multiple rares or uncommons aside from the ones you're assigned. So the thing that I haven't talked about yet, I think that I want to get into right now is you can see that there's different symbols at the edges of the card. And what you actually do in this game is when it comes in face up, and during the turns, you turn these cards. And always the top left is the one that is active during this turn. If there's an X, nothing happens. So this card needs to be turned 3 times before something happens. It's really unique and a nice feature of this game. So again, it just adds a further level of abstraction and strategy introduced. Paladin Decimator. Very nice. Generally, I really like the foiling in this game. It's usually the background and it looks really nice. Let's make sure this pile doesn't fall over. So there's a lot going on here, and the overall mechanics built on PlayFusion's first game, Lightseekers, which was a bit simpler version. There's more going on here, but in general, with the card turning, it's very similar in that. And once you've turned it completely through, so once you do not have a corner anymore here, then the card leaves the game. Okay, oh, a rare foiling, Fearless Korgorath. So we've already had that one in non-foil twice. I really like the foiling on his stomach there. It looks really nice. Okay, good. Let's see what else we can get. Moving through this pretty fast now. We have Glory of War, Rejoice and Slaughter, Blood Warrior Berserker, Frenzied Devotion, another champion, Grot Shaman Spider Rider. I'm not sure I completely buy into this black and white art. Tense Fortune, another blessing, and an uncommon foil. I actually think the art, while it is really nice, I think they could have actually done a better job of what art they choose, considering the vast backlog of art that they can use that is available through Games Workshop. But perhaps that is just me. This looks like Age of Sigmar art, so this is pretty new. Another Khorne Warrior, Blood Warrior Berserker. Okay, and here is a rare Etherwing Scout. Very cool. And you can see as well that on these champion cards, the symbols up here are different. So this determines what needs to be done to move the quest forward. So the symbols, they align with being able to doing a special action like attacking, defending, or you playing certain cards to that lane. So you really need to think about what you play, where you play it, what your deck looks like to then be able to trigger your champion's heroic abilities and to be able to unveil the blessing. So usually you would either play cards or draw cards, but there's also heroic abilities, and to play those, to be able to activate, you actually need to use one of your actions. Namarati Soulfeeder, Swift Namarati Reaver, Skeleton Iconbearer, or rare Gaze of Khorne. And then another Champion Protector Prime, a Blessing, and another common foiled card. So we're coming towards the end of the pack. Just a few more cards to go. I think it's really cool that you were able to use these cards to scan them for the digital client as well. So you don't have to buy them twice. You buy the physical cards, you love TCGs, and you can also play it online, and you can have everything in one collection. I think it's pretty neat, and I think it was a good idea. Biovoltic Morsar Guard. However, there's a question that needs to be asked here. Did the digital game cannibalize the physical game player base? So is it easier for some people to just play digitally instead of going to an LGS and playing the game there with their friends. It's certainly faster, and you know, you can sit on the couch or before you go to sleep and whip it out and play a couple of games. So if you really like the game, you don't have to go to an LGS. I don't know, it's been a couple of years since the game was discontinued, and it's actually pretty hard to find information why it was discontinued. I have my theories, and I'm going to talk more about that in my overview video, so stick around for that. Deathly Resolve, not a very nice card. Liberator Prime, Color of Domination, and an uncommon foiled card. PlayFusion was never that clear on why they discontinued the game. There's a few different theories. But something that I find really interesting as well, by the way, something that I didn't talk about yet, you can also see at the bottom here. I hope you can see that. This is card 177 of 278 cards in the base set. It is a common. Restoring the Forge. Oh, I love it. Shrieking Terrorgeist. Lockian Prince. I'll definitely get in a few games with these cards. I really love the art. We've played a few games already. Or foiled rare. Banner Carrier. Look at that. I love it. Okay. 3 more packs to go. Let's see if we get anything else exciting in here. I'm honestly, I don't know which the exclusives are. I don't know how to tell them apart, so I'm not 100% sure if we found one of them. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything that is rare or especially sought after. Tactical Formation, Blood Sacrifice, Brutal Smash. Ooh, Keldrick the Knight of Shrouds, a unique champion rare. All in all, the text and the abilities are pretty simple, and that they're pretty easy to understand if you play a few games. Chaos Champion, a lot of Chaos and Corn in this set. One thing that was a bit difficult, or might be a bit difficult for somebody just coming into the game, is the fact that when you rotate this card, you also rotate the text. So imagine you've got it upside down, and then you need to read the text there. You kind of have to turn it around again, read it, turn it back around. Maybe that's a mechanic which actually works better in the digital client. And I find it curious that they discontinued the physical and the digital game. I can see a world where they've discontinued the physical cards and game, but continue with the digital client. And moving on to the last pack here. Love the art on this as well. Let's appreciate this for a second. Okay, let's open it up. Let's see what we get. Maybe another rare foil, that would be super cool. Okay, Bolt, moving through our commons. And the Brute, Gift of Change, Star Drake, our rare, Seeker of Souls. Knight Heralder, I think we've seen him a couple of times. Another blessing, and we finish with a rare foil. Very nice. Infernal Gateway. Well, that looks really cool. Well, I want to try that card. So thank you very much for being here, watching me opening these cards. I generally really enjoy opening the set, and I will have at least one more box opening. I have a box of Onslaught sitting right next to me, and I think I'll continue with that right away. If you like the content on my channel, then please follow, subscribe, and give me a like. And if you have any thoughts on why you think the game failed, or if I missed anything specifically nice in the cards here, then let me know as well. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.